So it's all numbers.
I wish I knew that when I took my class one.
A lot of drivers wish so, yeah. There's people out there still struggling.
Yes.
Even when you get into neutral and don't know what gear to go to, and a new student gets into that situation frequently, well, all I tell them to look at is what speed they're going, and there's a gear for that speed.
Oh.
A range.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so that's how I teach that.
And you've been open a couple of months.
I've been teaching about 11 years and opened my own school a couple of months ago.
I have a feeling you're going to be very, very, very busy.
I am getting busy, that's true.
Yeah.
But I'm going at it slow. I'm not trying to
Slow and careful is the thing, right?
Yeah.
Because of your background as a flight instructor, you can't rush.
No, you can't. Everything's progressive. Learning is always progressive in running equipment.
Yeah.
You build on it. I took a student's truck away from where it was parked. He just bought it. And it's a completely different truck than mine. So when I first got in, it was just like starting all over again as far as driving was concerned. Clutch was different, this was different, the size of it was different, the sound of it was different. But about an hour later, it was as if I'd been driving it all the time, by just using the same processes that I try to teach.
No kidding.
Yeah, it works good. It works good. It works good. Yeah, I like it.
I'll bet you do.
Yeah, I have my own manual that I wrote. I wrote most of it. I did borrow some ideas from certain DOTs in the United States that had good articles on driving drowsy and night driving. I wrote all the night driving, the winter driving to speak of. I have that all in my manual, and I give that to my students in DVD form.
Good for you.
Yeah, when they take my full course. I don't offer any cheap courses. I will give you hourly rates if you like, but most everything I do is done on what I call my advanced class 1 course, which gives you mountains, gives you night, gives you, if there's ice and snow, you get that too. So in the wintertime, there's a lot of that.
Well, that's what most drivers need.
I think so. You know, a bare class 1 license doesn't really teach you much about actually driving the truck in all conditions.
It gives you a ticket to be dangerous.
Away. Like in aviation, first of all, you just get a private pilot's license. Allows you to fly off of hard surface runways and during the day. If you want to fly at night, that's another course. If you want to fly 2 engines, that's another course. You want to fly in instruments, that's another course. If you want to fly in the water, that's another course. So they do it, I think, well. But a class 1 license lets you drive any truck.
Right away.
You know, I'm not a Super B experienced driver, so I don't drive Super Bs. I have driven them under supervision, but I'm legally licensed to drive them.
Yeah, how do you back those things up?
Yeah, that's right.
My brother-in-law says you don't.
No, that's right. There are occasions when you don't. Anyway, one of the concepts is for a student to understand that they don't know. We don't always know that we don't know.
You got to clear.
That's right.
You got to.
That's right.
Forget what you've learned. Forget your opinions about it.
Yeah. Do I know how to do this or not? Now, there's many things I know that I don't know how to do. Some things I do know how to do, and I try to learn to do them better. And the things I don't know how to do, if I'm interested in them, I'll find out the proper way to do it through instruction or reading or whatever the case may be. But not knowing that you don't know is deadly.
Yes.
Right? There's no course taught to how about going down a hill with a fully loaded truck with slippery conditions. Sometimes you may not want to go down the hill.
Yep.
You may want to wait till they sand it.
Yeah.
And so the whole concept is based on planning. Before you move an inch, plan. Coming out of a parking lot, where am I really going here? How am I going to do this? What are the obstacles around, overhead, beside, sometimes even behind, if you have to back up out of a place, depending on what you're going to do. Just all planning. My manual has plan till you get bored with it.
Do you use GPS? I think GPS is great.
I have GPS, yeah. But also, even GPS can throw you for a loop. Sometimes you can't get to where you want to go in a truck. Now, you need a truck-specific GPS, and even some of those don't always give you accurate information.
Really?
So you still have to know where you're going, even though you have a GPS.
Sure. GPS is just to take that tension edge off and say,
It helps.
where should I turn here?
Yeah, it's a good trip planner.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and en route verification of where you are, or what you expect.
Right.
But it's a tremendously big subject. Tremendously big subject.
You're holding people's lives in your hands.
Well, if 100 well, most of the time I'm only about 80,000 pounds with a car. I've driven with a car hauler, I should say. But I've driven trucks for 102,000. You got that barreling down the highway in a single lane at you. You better hope the individual behind the wheel is capable.